Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Cooking with Jen. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight because I'm doing something that I think a lot of us struggle with, which is meal prepping. So what I'm going to show you tonight is how to meal prep an entire week's worth of food in under 30 minutes. Also, one of the ways that we make this super easy here at Nutrition Built Strength, and it's the secret that our registered dietitians use with our paying NBS clients, is something called the 5-2 split. So you're going to hear me talk a lot about the 5-2 split and how it is one of the most important concepts that we do here at NBS. So first of all, what are we making tonight? So we're going to make 5 days worth of breakfast. We have 2 different options. We're also going to be making 2 protein sources. Those can be used for either lunches or dinners. They can be mixed and matched into bowls, salads, wraps, things like that. And then we're going to make 5 days worth of snacks. In fact, we're going to make 2 snacks for all 5 days. So you actually have 10 full snacks. And I'm going to show you some great grab and go options as well. So with that said, let's start and talk about breakfast. So first, I'm going to tell you one of my easiest breakfasts that I go to every single week, and that is my protein coffee. So I don't know if you guys have a Stanley. This is my big Stanley. I also have a smaller version, but what I will do is I will actually add, let me go grab one of these core power shakes, and I will pour it into my Stanley. It fills it up to about halfway. If I'm going with my daughter to Starbucks, because we like to stop at Starbucks on our way to school, I will have them give me a venti blonde roast coffee, and I will just pour the blonde roast coffee right into here, and I have a 42 grams worth of protein right in this one easy grab and go option. If you want to make a cup of coffee at home and add this core power to it as well, that's also an option. So that's our first breakfast. So easy. The second breakfast is going to be our egg muffins. So first I need to preheat my oven to 375, and then we're going to start our egg muffins. I am going to double the recipe that you can get in the guidebook that will come after this little Cooking with Jen. If you'd like to get all of the recipes, all of the information on the 5-2 split, we're going to be going, and we're going to have a guide that you can pick up from us tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. But because I'm doubling the recipe, I'm actually going to use 12 eggs. I know, with eggs being as expensive as they are these days, this is like a luxury. I'm going to take all 12 eggs, I'm going to crack them and put them into this bowl. I am going to go ahead and add in the veggies that I'm going to use. I have decided to use spinach and red pepper. I love the combination of spinach and red pepper together. I'm going to do cheddar cheese, but you could also do something like feta. It would have that kind of like Greek feel to it. I'm using 12 eggs, and I'm going to be making 12 egg muffins. So if you're thinking about what are the macros in what you're making or what are the calorie count, you can think about the fact that there are going to be 1 egg per muffin tin. If you were to do 6, you'd have 6 eggs and 6 egg muffins. Another trick is if you're trying to increase your protein and you don't want to do all eggs, you could also do half eggs and half egg whites. That's another little trick. I love getting the egg whites that are in a container. Just make my life a little bit easier, not having to separate out those yolks from the white itself. So how was everyone's weekend? While I'm cracking these eggs, I can tell you a little story about mine. My daughter turned 16. I can't believe I have a driver out on the road. She just went and took her driver's test and is officially a driver. I have never felt so old. Also, how about that Super Bowl? Pretty disappointing first half, but very excited for the Eagles who were able to pull out that win. I'm so excited for Philadelphia. Okay, so we're all done with our eggs. I'm going to go ahead and throw away that container, wash up my hands, and I'm going to pull out 1 red pepper. I'm going to go ahead and slice this up into just some kind of like bite-sized pieces that I can easily throw into this egg mixture. I'm going to be using another couple of bell peppers later on for my veggie snack that I'm making with my Greek yogurt ranch dip. I love how bell peppers have that crunchy feel to them when they're raw. Sometimes when we are tracking our macros in a deficit on a diet, we can kind of feel like we're missing out on that crunchy, salty thing because chips can be a little bit hard to fit into things. Although with the way that we do the 5-2 split, if you're a big chip person, like if you like chips and salsa or chips and guacamole, or you like, I don't even know, Doritos, the 5-2 split allows you on the weekends or 2 days of the week to just track your calories. So you don't have to worry so much about what those macros are. I like to tell people when I meet with them on strategy calls, anything from cocktails to cookies on those 2 days, as long as you hit your calorie total. And what's really cool is our registered dietitians actually look at your lifestyle and they see and they think about How many extra calories do you need on the weekends? Are you somebody who does go out a lot to eat? Are you somebody who likes to have maybe a bottle of wine on the weekends? And that is all taken into account when we look at that 5-2 split. So it's not just about tracking your macros around here. We really take a personalized approach when you're working with us at NBS. I'm going to go ahead and mix up these eggs, make sure that they're all blended together. Those are all done. I'm also going to take a little bit of baby spinach, just give that a quick rinse. I'm going to throw in my red peppers into here, and I'm going to then chop up my spinach and add it to the eggs as well. And then I have a really cool hack for your egg muffins, something that I learned from a cooking school at Canyon Ranch a few years ago. And it is such a game changer when it comes to making really any kind of muffins, but these egg muffins in particular, I like how they don't burn on the bottom. So we've given this a nice kind of dice. I'm going to throw in some of that spinach into those eggs. I cut up a little more than I need. Use that maybe in something for tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and stir that one more time. Kind of mix up all those ingredients. That right there. I am going to grab my muffin tins. I've actually already put in the muffins into the bottom. And here's the little secret that I want you all to see. If you look at the bottom of the muffin tin, I hope you can see that, there's rice in the bottom of each of the muffin circles, sorry. That allows the muffin tin to sit up just a little bit from the bottom of the pan, and you won't get those burnt bottoms on your eggs. I'm gonna take a little bit of salt and pepper just to add it to my eggs, give it a little bit of flavor. I love these because they can store easily in the refrigerator for for a few days. You can just pop them in the microwave in the morning. They're really easy and they're portable. So if you go into an office, they're really awesome to have. You could heat them up on your way as well. So now I'm going to try to evenly pour this out into these 12 muffin tins. And remember, if you are making these for you and your family, each of them has about an egg in them. So you can kind of figure out what your proteins, fats, and carbs are in those. Not a lot of carbs here. Another trick for our NBS members is that we don't ask you to track, weigh, or measure any green vegetables. So all of this spinach, even the bell peppers, you don't even have to worry about. All you have to worry about is your egg and really just the egg. Oh, good. The rice tip is so cool, isn't it? It's really great for like sweet muffins too. Anything that has sugar that might crystallize in the bottom, that muffin tip is a great thing to know. That's non-cooked rice. In fact, you can actually use it again. It just gets a little toasty. So when you do actually end up using that rice, it gives it kind of like a toasty browned flavor. I'll probably throw mine out, but I do know that some people end up using it later on as well. I don't like to fill them too far because then they get kind of everywhere. I might end up actually having a little left over, but that's okay. We'll figure this out. And once these go in the oven, we will start to work on those other protein sources and our snacks. These eggs were big eggs. That's what she said. Okay, so those are all pretty much as filled up as they're gonna go. Now, I didn't add any cheese to these. I was planning on adding some reduced fat cheddar. I didn't do that. So I'm just gonna make sure that when I count them later on, I remember that I didn't do that. So you can add cheese if you like a little cheese flavor. I said feta or reduced fat cheddar or even regular cheddar. That's the microwave. And these are going to bake for 15 to 20 minutes. So Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. Now we're gonna work on the chicken. So the chicken's actually gonna go in the oven with the eggs. I kind of cheated by ahead of time. I went ahead and I marinated my chicken in some G. Hughes orange ginger marinade. G. Hughes is one of my favorites. It's very low sugar. There's lots of different flavors. There's a Polynesian, there's a barbecue. I like this orange ginger, kind of gives it that Asian flair. In the guidebook that we're sending you, I have just a very simple seasoning recipe: salt, pepper, paprika, and garlic powder. So that's also another option. But with this, I'm actually just gonna give it a little bit of a spray. I actually love this avocado oil spray. I get this from Costco. It's a great thing to have. And then I'm just gonna put this chicken right on this pan, and we are gonna pop it in the oven with those egg muffins on another one of the shelves. So 2 high protein sources already ready to go. And then we're gonna work on our next one. So we're just gonna pop these in here too. Those take about 20 minutes. And obviously with the chicken, we wanna be really careful that we make sure that gets cooked through. You want that to cook to at least 165 degrees. Remember, you're probably going to microwave it if you're going to put it in like a bowl or something, or at least that's what I would do. So you don't have to get it all the way to 165. It can actually sit at 160. Okay, so now we're going to work on ground beef. This is another super simple staple of mine every single week. I make taco meat. I love taco meat because I like something spicy. Oh, because I'm spicy, Bradley's trying to tell me. I like to make tacos. One of our clients, Jess Jimenez, she talks about the Taco Bell, the fake Taco Bell tacos that Afton put on her meal plan. They are the easiest. You can get the Taco Bell sauce at Target. So that's always a nice thing to do because then you have that taco, like just kind of feels like you're having something kind of dirty, that fast food feeling. For that, also, if you want a supreme taco, so that has the sour cream, instead of using sour cream, I use non-fat Greek yogurt. So that's a little trick there too. So we're just gonna let that brown for 5 to 7 minutes on a medium heat. Now, while our chicken, our eggs, and our ground beef are cooking, we're gonna work on snacks. One of my favorite snacks is Greek yogurt. I love the Oikos, or there's another brand that I love even more. It's called Ratio. They make a coconut yogurt and it has 25 grams of protein. This Oikos Pro has 20. There's also the Oikos 000, which has 15. Find a high protein yogurt. They're a little thicker, but they have that extra added protein, which is sometimes hard for people to get. So I take this. I take grape nuts. This is something that my mom made me grow up on. I think it reminds me very much of the 80s, but grape nuts are still one of my favorite kind of additions for giving you just that crunchy feeling. I'm going to add a tablespoon of grape nuts to each of these bags. Now, when I'm being very, very strict with my macros, so when I'm in a really deep deficit, when I have a goal in mind, I actually would weigh out these grape nuts. I usually do something between 20 and 22 grams. But instance of time, I'm going to just use a tablespoon as my measurement. That is not going to give you as accurate of a macros, but it's going to be close enough, especially because you're eating 5 of them over the week. If you wanted to, you could weigh what this is if you wanted to get more of your closer to your grams. So I'm going to make 5 little packets of tablespoon of grape nuts. So then I will have a high protein, 20 grams of protein plus the grape nuts snack that I can take with me. Just grab and go out of the refrigerator. If you're packing your lunch, if you are in between meetings, it's a great thing to have. Stir up your yogurt, pour the grape nuts on top, and you have another great snack option. 5 yogurts, 5 grape nuts, and there's 5 days worth of snacks right there. All done with those. Okay, now the next thing we're gonna make is something with a little more fiber. We're gonna talk about some veggies. Just gonna make sure that this is cooking well. I'm gonna flip over that beef, sure that getting brown on all sides. So the other part of Nutrition Build Strength that a lot of our clients find helpful is our macro track dinner. Now, what does a macro track dinner mean? So during the week, our clients have structured meal plan for your breakfast, your lunches, and your snacks. So we've now created 2 breakfasts. Remember what they were: the protein coffee, which has 42 grams of protein, or the egg muffins if you wanted something a little bit more savory and warm in the morning. And then you would have a planned lunch. Could be anything from, say, one of those Taco Bell tacos I was talking about, maybe a salad with the taco meat on it, or you could even do like Quest chip nachos. That's one of my favorites too. And then you would have your snacks. Your snacks fill in the rest of your macros except for your dinner. When you work with us, when you get on your kickoff call with Afton or Luciana, one of our registered dietitians, they will actually ask you to do it in your kitchen. And they're going to talk to you about, what do your normal dinners look like with your family? We want to make sure that you are able to eat exactly what the rest of your family is eating. So you just have a wild card for those dinners. They're going to give you your calories, your protein, your carbs, and your fats. And then you can figure out anything that can fit in there. Maybe that is going to Chick-fil-A some nights. Maybe that's you making your favorite lasagna recipe. Maybe that's ordering Chinese takeout. That's what we did last night. And you can fit anything really in there as long as it fits within the numbers that are provided for you on that initial kickoff call.
Change anything during the
So I guess that goes to that 5-2 split. Since I am prepping for the wedding, I'm working through a deficit right now because I do have, I don't know, maybe 5 to 7 pounds I'd like to lose before May. Just because my dress is really, really tight. I should have said that. And I want it to fit. So I have a couple of measurements that I am having. I actually bought my dress a size smaller than I was supposed to. So I'm trying to go into a little bit of a deficit right now. So during the week, I have, like I said, my structured meal plan, which has my structured breakfasts, my lunches, and my snacks. We're making one more of my snacks right now. We'll check on the beef. As soon as this is browned, I will add the taco seasoning to this. Give that a little bit longer. We're gonna get back to cutting up our veggies. So I'm doing bell peppers and cucumbers. On the weekends, you know, Bradley and I like our cocktails. We like a craft cocktail, we like a margarita, we like a seltzer. And really, it's not impossible to track your alcohol intake when you're doing macros, but it does make it a lot harder. You really have to be sparing on your carbs, your other kinds of carbohydrates or fats, depending on kind of what you need. And it makes it a little bit more difficult during the week. So on the weekends, that's when we indulge in some of our favorite things, like a bottle of wine or things like that. But usually during the week, I'm then trying to limit my alcohol intake. I don't have Bradley here. He's the bad influence. I will definitely not usually have anything to drink when it's just me and Ava here on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. But then on the weekends when we are back together, I oftentimes like to indulge in a cocktail. That would be the biggest thing that I'm doing right now. So we have cut up a bunch of veggies. Cucumbers are one of my favorite vegetables when I'm in a deficit because they give you that crunchy feeling that we were talking about before. And one of my favorite ways to eat them is with tahini. So if you like spicy, teach you a little trick. I just take a little bottle of tahini, I take some cucumbers, and I will do just a little sprinkle of tahini on the cucumber. Tahini's also awesome on watermelon. Bradley, I know you want one of those.
Another one.
Check on that meat. One more time. We're getting pretty darn close on that. I'm gonna let that go for one more minute. We're gonna make a Greek yogurt dip to go with our veggies. So for the dip, because we are trying to be a little bit more careful on our macros, because I am working towards that wedding, I'm actually going to weigh out the yogurt. So I always measure things in grams when I can. It gives me a little bit more of an accurate total. Actually, I'm going to see. So this bowl weighs 197. I love this ranch seasoning. Doesn't really matter how much you use. I'm going to use about a tablespoon, a little less than that. I'm going to whisk this together. This is the first question. Can you remind me, Bradley? Oh, so strength training, huge key for me. I am actually kind of laying off the cardio right now. If I'm doing anything, I'm going for a walk just because I'm trying to maintain as much muscle tone as I can because I want to have that like more lean toned look. I want my muscle to push against the skin. You know, as we get older, it kind of gets a little harder for that to look appropriate. So that's the big thing for me, strength training. Nutrition wise, I am really concentrating on hitting my protein totals. Protein is going to help keep you full. It's also going to maintain that lean muscle mass that you've worked so hard on at the gym. And it helps with your metabolism too. I'm going to go ahead and add that taco seasoning to our browned meat. I'm going to turn that down. And I'm going to add just a little bit of water to that too. Stir that. And I have taco meat ready to go for the week. I will probably just throw this in a big container and measure it out as I go throughout the week. If you wanted to, you could break it up into say 4-ounce or 5-ounce portions. And that way you would know exactly what you were getting for the week. This is just one of the proteins that I will use. And I can use this for my lunches or my dinners. If there were certain nights where I wanted to have a really quick, easy grab and go dinner, I already have a protein source ready to go now. Same with the chicken as well. Wedding colors. So believe it or not, I'm not doing wedding colors. I decided that this time for this wedding, I wanted it to be fun. So I know Ava's wearing blue, Kennedy is wearing rainbow, and Bradley is wearing some sort of kind of a tealish blue, but I've told, nope, he's not, he says. Oh, he said pink. I don't remember now. We don't know. Bradley doesn't have his suit yet. But then I told all of my wedding guests, I just wanted you to be in the brightest possible colors. I wanted to have that Mexican fiesta sort of theme. So no black, absolutely no black. And no, like not even pastels. I want it to be like jewels, bright. I want it to look like we could go have a big fiesta party together. So that's kind of the theme. So there's that 15-minute timer that we set earlier for the egg muffins. They have a little ways to go, so I'm gonna pop those in. Alexa, set a 5-minute timer. Then we're gonna start to portion out Greek yogurt dip. So remember, this is just non-fat Greek yogurt and the ranch seasoning. And remember, we had 255 grams of yogurt, so we need 51. So we're gonna be putting 51 grams into each of these little guys here. Now, another trick that I could be doing is I could be taking it out of here and reducing that number. That's Afton's sort of trick on how to get like things like peanut butter, yogurt out of containers, but I'm gonna do it this way, which is gonna be a little bit harder, but we will get pretty darn close. Okay, so 51 grams in here. There's one stack. We're gonna do it in these 5 containers. So wedding colors, Nothing in particular. I want it to just be fun. Cannot wait. We're going to Puerto Vallarta. So we will probably send photos for everyone to check out. Yes, Bradley, is there a question?
No. Is a mankini appropriate?
A mankini appropriate.
If it's bright green or pink, this was.
Yeah, sure. What shoes is he wearing? That would be my question. And I think that if you would like to show up with your guest in a mankini, more power to you. As long as we make sure that there's lots of Mariah Carey, I'm sure you're going to be happy either way. Okay, so we're still measuring out 51 grams of this. We are close on this one. It's a little more than that. Perfect. Okay, so we would do that with the rest of this. Obviously, we're putting 51 grams in each of these. Now, these are a little smaller, so I have to hit the tare button again to get the right number. I'm going to do 55 grams of this. We're slowly running out of our yogurt, so what we might end up having to do is just eat this last one. Okay, there we go. So now I did 4. I'm going to let Bradley finish off the rest of this with some veggies tonight. But then you have all these veggies sitting here. So then you're just going to make yourself some little snack packs of veggies to take with you. Bradley's eating cucumbers with his right now. As I was mentioning earlier, we did put together a guidebook on how to do this 30-minute meal prep for the week. That will be available later on tonight. We'll actually drop the guide. If you'd like a copy of it, just let us know. We'll also be emailing it out to people too. One more thing about snacks. So we have all of our veggies and our Greek yogurt dip. Remember, we have that. We also have the Oikos Pro with the grape nuts. And then I also just wanted to show you a few more of my favorite grab-and-go snacks. So the first are Bear Bell protein bars. If you haven't tried these, I have this for dessert sometimes. They are so good. This is the salty peanut. I also really like the caramel cashew. Oh my God, they're delicious. Quest chips. I love these for just that crunchy, salty thing that most people are missing when they're on a diet. I also use these for nachos. I will do these with some of the ground beef, some reduced fat cheddar, some non-fat Greek yogurt, lettuce, black olives even if I want. And these make incredible nachos. And then you're also getting, in one serving, you're getting an additional 16 grams of protein. In addition, beef jerky, as well as some of these legendary chips. These are all great protein options. I'm going to check and see on this egg muffins. They look like they might need a few more minutes, as does the chicken. So that's one thing that you can kind of keep an eye on. I may have gone over my 30 minutes once that's all done, but they are more or less done. I'm just going to pull them out so you can see sort of what they look like. Here are the egg muffins. You can see they're still a little bit loose, so I'm going to throw them back in. So maybe we'll say under 35 minutes, but these are good to go. And then when you pull them out on the bottom, they won't be burnt because remember that rice trick. The chicken breast still looks like it needs a few more minutes as well. And with chicken breasts, especially these that are this fat, I would make sure to get those cooked all the way through. I would then slice that up into probably 5 or 6 ounce portions. Put that in the refrigerator so that I can just grab those, put together wraps, bowls, salads, things like that. I think I found these at Target. This way I can but I have to break them out into smaller portions. So you kind of have to measure them out. But they do have individual grab and goes. If you have not tried legendary chips, these are my new favorite. I actually like these even better than the Quest chips, but they don't make the nachos. These are more of like a puff chip, but they are so filling. So with that said, thank you so much guys for coming to Cooking with Jen, meal prepping an entire week's worth of food. Obviously there's a little bit of cleanup here, so maybe we'll say like 40 minutes, but it has been my pleasure. I always love doing this with you guys. If you have any meal prep questions, if you want to connect and talk a little bit more about what we do at Nutrition Builds Strength, I am always here. I probably have sent you a direct message to check in with you. We are a family around here and we want you to know that you're part of our family too. If you need anything, if you are ready to make a change with your life, if you're a woman over 40 or 50 and you are perimenopausal or postmenopausal and you cannot get that weight off, that is what we are here for. So with that said, thank you so much guys. Have a wonderful night.